Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the 2022 Hyundai Elantra SEL. There are three trims you could choose from on the 2022 Elantra. There is the SE, SEL, and the Limited. This one is the SEL, so let me go ahead and show you all the features this one has. Under the hood, they're going to be a 2.0 naturally aspirated four-cylinder engine that is connected to an IVT transmission, basically a CVT transmission. And this engine produces 147 horses and 132 pound-feet of torque. And the fuel economy numbers on this engine: 31 in the city, 41 highway, and 35 combined. Here is the MSRP sticker of this 2022 Elantra SEL. And here are the standard features this one has. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and pause the video. And it does have the interior light kit. It's a $250 option. I'll show you that when I go inside. And the price on this one is $22,730. If you guys are curious about the color is called Electric Shadow, and it does look very good on this Elantra. And for 2022, Hyundai did get rid of the N line. So for 2022, there is no more N line. There is only the SE, SEL, which is this one, and then the Limited. I'm not exactly sure why they removed the N line. I'm not sure if the sales weren't good or they removed it because of the chip shortage. But coming to the front, I like the design of the Elantra. Again, this one is the SEL trim. That means this is the mid trim. For the headlights, the design of the headlights look good. They're nice and slim. The daytime running lights, they are LED, but the high and low beam, they are halogen. Reflector is located right there. And with this color, you could see the body lines better. The grille is finished in flat black. I think the design looks good. And there is a ton of lines on the bumper. And overall, I think the bottom bumper is nice and aggressive. There is a side functional vent, and overall I think Hyundai did a great job with the design of the Elantra when they changed it. And for the turn signal indicators, they are halogen. They are located right there, and there's an opening right there for air to go in. But seriously, I really like the design of the Hyundai Elantra. But let's go ahead and move to the side, and I'll show you the side view of this Elantra. Here is the side view of the Elantra, and the side view looks very good, and it does almost have this spaceship look to it from the back. Even the front does have a little bit of that spaceship look to it. But seriously, this color just looks honestly amazing. I think this is probably my favorite color on the Elantra. And as I said, it does show a lot of body lines. There is a sharp line that is right underneath the door handles, and there is one by the tail light. And yeah, I'm seriously liking the design of the Elantra. The window trims are finished in flat black, and this SEL trim does have blind spot monitoring system. And I really wish that the SEL trim had sunroof, but sadly it does not have a sunroof. The shark fin antenna is finished in gloss black, and for the rims, they are finished in almost gloss black. They're not very glossy, but they have this gloss black look to them. And the size is 205/55/16, and I think the design looks alright. I really wish that Hyundai did a little bit better job with the design of the rims on the SEL trim. Probably the SEL trim is the most purchased one, the most popular one. The Limited Elantra does have good looking rims, but for the SEL trim, I really wish it did. Anyways, let's go ahead and move to the back, and I'll show you the back view of this Hyundai Elantra. Here is the back of this Elantra, and the back looks pretty good. For this SEL trim, this middle section right here is actually not functional. So in the Limited trim, this whole thing lights up, but on the SE and SEL trims, they're not. It's not functional, and everything right here in the back is halogen. On the Limited trim, the running brake running light is LED. So the turn signal indicators, reverse, the brake lights, everything is halogen on this SEL trim. I think the design looks good, and again guys, there is a ton of sharp lines on this Elantra, and I really like the way how the trunk looks like. Very aggressive lines. Hyundai badge is finished in chrome. Backup camera is right on top of it, and this is the button to open the trunk. Elantra is written right there, and I really like the font. And in the bottom, there are going to be some reflectors, and all the way in the bottom, this is finished in flat black, and the exhaust is actually hidden right underneath the car. Here is a key. It does look good, has a really nice weight to it, and it does feel solid. It is finished in flat black and brushed aluminum, and it does have 5 buttons on it: lock, unlock, remote start, trunk release, and e-panic button. And it does have a physical key inside of it. To open the trunk, there is 3 ways: 1 on the key, 1 on the trunk, and 1 inside. Trunk opens halfway, and then you have to do the rest of the work. And inside there is a very good amount of space, very similar to the Civic and the Corolla, and the opening is nice and big. You could drop the seats down from those 2 handles, and underneath they're going to be the spare tire with the jack and the jack tools, and around the spare tire there is a good amount of storage place. For the door handle, it is finished in the same color as the car. It does have a button right here. This will take care of locking and unlocking the car. Here is the door handle, and the door handle has a nice design to it. Mostly everything is finished in plastic. So the top portion is finished in plastic. This is plastic, but it is textured plastic. It does feel very light. It does have this fake looking stitching, which I think adds a nice design to the door panel. The door handle feels nice and light. It's a little bit on the lower side. I really wish it was a little bit higher. A tweeter. Does have a really nice design to it. Window switches, mirror controls, everything looks good. The armrest is actually that synthetic rubber material, and this whole thing right here is that synthetic rubber material, so Hyundai did not cheap out on this piece. In the bottom, this is plastic, which is fine. An okay storage place in the bottom, and the speaker has a really nice design to it. And the seats are nice and comfortable. Design looks good, and they do have some gray stitching. They're manual seats, and for the price point, I think it's fine to have manual seats. And by the way, it does have the light kit. Basically, there is a button down there. If you click on it, it will turn on basically a blue light in the bottom, and it's basically just like a footwell light. But let's go ahead and move inside this Elantra, and I'll show you how it looks like from the inside. Alright, so here is the interior of this 2022 Hyundai Elantra. Interior looks good, and I really like the design of the steering wheel. I think Hyundai did a great job with the steering wheel design on this Elantra. It does have an opening right here in the bottom. It does have a good amount of brushed aluminum, and I really like this textured plastic. The buttons are finished in gloss black, and Hyundai badge is finished in chrome. And on the left, volume controls are right here, and the phone controls, voice command. And on the right is the safety features. This SEL trim does have the adaptive cruise control, steering assist, link assist, and there's going to be a screen on the right. It will display a good amount of things. You could scroll up and down, so there is a good amount of information in that right screen. Gauges look good. I really like the way how they look, and the gauges are finished in red. And on the left, that's where the headlight controls and turn signal controls are going to be. And on the right is the wiper controls. The engine start stop is right there. It is finished in brushed aluminum, and the AC vents are finished in brushed aluminum. Brightness control, lane keep assist, and traction control buttons are going to be right there. And for the screen, it is an 8-inch screen, and it's a good size for a $22,000 car. The surrounding of the screen is finished in flat black, and I think that's completely fine. It does have a volume knob and a tune knob, hard buttons on the left and right, and this screen does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And the system overall, it is nice and responsive. Here is a backup camera, and I do think that it still has the plastic wrap on the backup camera, but overall the resolution is very good. It is nice and wide, and AC vents have a really nice design to them. When you activate the turn signal indicators or the emergency lights, the button itself flashes, which is nice. And overall, everything looks good. Everything is finished in almost plastic. This is soft and it feels hard at the same time. This is pure plastic. Even this is plastic. I'm not a big fan of this handle. I really wish that Hyundai removed it for 2022, because I know a lot of people complained about this handle on the 2021 when they first changed the Elantra. For the AC vents, they do look good, very easy to use. Basically, this climate control is a single zone climate control. Does have an automatic function and a sync function, fan speed, AC off, a few things right here. And in the bottom there is 2 USBs, one for charging and one for Apple CarPlay, and a 12 volt. Good amount of storage place in the bottom. And that's the button for the ambient lighting, that blue light right there. So basically a footwell light. It is a $250 option. And here is the shifter that will control the IVT transmission in this Elantra. It is a little bit on the bulky side. It is wrapped in leather. It does have plus and minus. There is no paddle shifters on the steering wheel. And 2 buttons right here. A drive mode button. Gauges don't change, just only on the limited trim, because it does have the LCD screen. And there are 3 modes: normal, sport, and smart. And this button will turn on the backup camera. Handbrake, 2 cup holders, and I think with every Elantra does come with this smaller cup holder, so it just basically carries like a smaller drink. And the armrest is nice and soft. Inside there is an okay storage place, and the rear view mirror is nice and big, almost frameless, so I'm glad that the bezels are nice and thin. And there is the Blue Link SOS button. This Elantra does have halogen lights, which is expected, of course, and a light switch. And for the visors, they do feel nice and solid. They're finished in plastic, and there is a big mirror, and there is a halogen light. Coming to the back door panel, everything right here is finished in plastic. So this top portion is plastic. Even the armrest is plastic. All the way in the bottom, this is plastic. One bottle holder / storage place in the bottom. Here is the window switch, and the door handle feels nice and solid. And for the back seats, there's a good amount of space, and headroom is good. And for a small car, there's actually a good amount of space. This Elantra SEL does not have a armrest. I really wish it did. And there is no AC vents or USB or USB-C. And that's how the front of this Elantra looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of this 2021 Hyundai Elantra SEL. If you guys are around and if you guys are interested, make sure to come and see Firas here at Key Hyundai in Milford, Connecticut. And if you guys would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.